It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watch, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
And I'm Neil. Last night we watched episode 9 of The Bachelor season 19. The show aired on Monday, February 23rd, 2015. Here's what we thought about it. Farmer has an interesting dilemma here. Bottom line, there's no bad choice of these three.
Absolutely not. No, they're all great.
Based on what we've seen, I could see him being happy with whomever he chooses.
Yes.
The biggest downside that he has to deal with is the fact that he has to hurt two of these women by not choosing them.
Right? How awful, because you can just see it taking its toll all over his face.
Another interesting situation is developing, despite the overall positivity that I'm feeling for these three.
Okay.
I really feel that it would be a huge negative for any one of these women to be selected as the next Bachelorette. If you need a reason for that, all you have to do is look at the final four from last season. Renee, Andy, Claire, and Nikki.
Okay.
Of the four, the only one that you could even begin to consider a success story is Renee.
Yeah.
She got engaged. She's gotten married. She's moved from Sarasota, Florida to Seattle.
Oh, nice.
She's now pregnant.
Really?
Yes, they had a baby shower for her a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's so cute.
According to Bachelor standards, that's a success.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other three. Last season's quote-unquote winner, and I'm putting that in air quotes, Nikki, what has she done? She's become a laughingstock thanks to couples therapy.
Yeah.
She broke up with Juan Pablo shortly thereafter, and now she's basically on her hands and knees trying to get back into Bachelor Nation.
Yeah. Nikki's story is pretty bad, but a lot of that, I'm sorry, a lot of that is Nikki.
Let's move on to Claire, last season's runner-up. She became the raccoon whisperer on Bachelor in Paradise.
Which gave us lots to talk about on Did You Watch It?
And to my knowledge, she's still the only single sister of 6.
Oh, gosh.
And the biggest train wreck of them all. We have Andy Dorfman.
Oh, my gosh.
Who decided to present that wonderful tirade the morning after the Fantasy Suites with Juan Pablo last year. And then what did she do? She decided to leave her job as an assistant district attorney to become the next Bachelorette.
Yeah.
She picked a guy who lived 5 minutes away from her.
She picked a great guy who we all loved.
Fine, he was a great guy. He was a wonderful guy. He's so great that she decided it would be a very good idea for the two of them to just leverage this relationship and turn it into a lucrative business proposition.
Yeah. I'm not saying I agree with all of her choices. I just really felt bad for her on the Chris Tell All episode when they showed her. So,
Once again, the only positive from that is the fact that she's got a good acting coach now. Not only did her delusions of stardom not pan out, but according to the Inquisitor website, she's now been reduced to social media and distributing pictures of herself promoting a product that is directly competing with her now former fiancé's company.
Yeah, okay. So you texted me about this and...
Yes, I did.
I read it. I get it. You know, I'm torn here. I'm torn because I know she's got to make money.
Oh, yeah, now.
Now she does because she quit her job. I hear all the negative comments and all the things, you know, from the fans saying, now you're promoting, you know, a competitive product to what Josh is promoting. I get it. That stuff is bad.
In closing, the best thing for the two that do not get selected is, as I have said many times before this season, is to use this experience as a jumping off point to find the love that they absolutely deserve in the real world, because none of these women deserve to become the next Michelle Money. So they're in Bali.
Beautiful, gorgeous, peaceful, spiritual.
You know, monkeys climbing all over the boy, peeing on him, whatever. just for some damn bananas. Okay, it's Bali. What do you
Those
expect?
monkeys were relentless. Let me just tell you.
As far as the date with Kaitlyn, there's really nothing to say.
No, there's a lot to say. Here's the thing about the date with Kaitlyn. When you compare the 3 dates kind of side by side, and this is what I thought after I watched it and, kind of was engrossed in what was going on, as you know I do. Kaitlyn's date, there was like a lot of chemistry. Like you saw for the first time the two of them, kissing a lot, hugging a lot, talking a lot, staring into each other's eyes a lot. You haven't seen a whole lot of that because she kind of had her guard up, right? She had this kind of thing going on, which I totally can relate to and understand from her past experiences. But in this date, it was kind of cool to see this other side and get to see her just really being herself and really letting herself go in this time with Chris. So that's what I really liked about this date.
That's why I said that there was nothing to say about this date, because of the 3, this date was, I would say, the best of the 3,
right?
For that reason.
It was awesome.
It was the kind of date that you would want to have with somebody that you felt close to.
Yeah, and that you're falling in love with. And we got to see them kind of just explore that further. I just thought it was really great. I loved it.
Of the 3, Kaitlyn is clearly the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Her family was all for it. And of the 3, she appears to have the easiest time kind of like conforming to her surroundings.
Yeah, but I still think it would be hard for her to be on the farm.
I think it would be hard for any of them to be on the farm full time. It's hard for Chris to be on the farm full time.
Yeah, but he gets out. He does other stuff. He's got his friends, right? But I'm just saying, as we go through these other dates, we get to see more of this stuff. More with Whitney, more with Becca, so...
Kaitlyn's only obstacle is just setting aside her past and allowing herself to feel and experience and so forth.
And being content on the farm.
But that's all of them.
Not in my opinion.
Really? We move on to Whitney's date. I forgot that she was the only one who had not been to Arlington yet.
No, she'd not been at all because she was on the date with Chris in Des Moines when they went.
For me, if I was Farmer, she'd need to go before I could honestly start to feel comfortable that she would be okay. At least go and lie to me.
I agree with you on all points regarding that. I just think all of them should have gone to Arlington.
The family, especially her sister, huge obstacle.
Yeah, she's too overprotective and basically could eliminate Whitney's chances based on her behavior at the hometown date.
Whitney's career, as much as she says that she could put that down in a second and just leave it behind, it's a career. I'd feel comfortable with that claim if she had been to Arlington.
But see, and this is where I disagree, because they had a chance to really talk about it. And she explained where she's coming from, what her objectives have always been. It's been that she wants to be a wife and a mom. She had the career. She had to create a career for herself to survive, to live, right? Mm-hmm. To have a life for herself. But when it comes to joining your life with another person that you've fallen in love with, I believe her when she says she would be okay being at home raising the kids and being his partner. In the true sense of the word.
I absolutely believe that she believes what she said.
Yeah.
I have no doubt at all.
Okay, so we agree.
No.
Come on, throw me a bone. Can't we just agree?
No, we can agree, but it's with a caveat. I saw Jade's face when she went to Arlington. I saw Carly's face. Once you're there, it's different. Once you actually see what Arlington is.
And I get that. But Jade left a city like that to go to LA to make something of herself. So I believe that would be hard for her to give up. Carly, I think she could have done it for love and for Chris.
I absolutely agree. Carly's about as close to Renee as we're going to get
right this
season. I absolutely agree that the transition for Carly would have been much less than any of these four.
I'm still on the fence with that because of this date with Whitney and what we saw.
Whitney talked too much.
Well, yeah, that whole part on the date where she was like doing the monologue and Chris is just sitting
like
there.
She just talked and she talked. It sounded like she was not even so much trying to convince Chris, but she was also trying to convince herself on some level.
No, I think she was just chatty, feeling chatty because she was happy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If she had gone to Arlington before all this, then I'd have nothing to say. I'd be right there with you. But because she didn't go, and she hasn't seen it for herself, and she hasn't tried to open a few of those locked doors, we moved to the date with Becca.
This was a biggie.
For a long time, I saw Becca as the one for whom the transition to Arlington would appear to be the smoothest.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, though.
There are a lot of things I'm not sure about now.
Right?
First of all, I don't like the fact that she waited until the last possible minute to tell him that not only that she's a virgin, but that she plans to stay one until he puts a ring on it.
Well, that's the thing. I would not have waited until this point. I would have told him.
She was in the suite.
I would have told him at hometowns. I would have told him, you know, when she knew that she was going to, I don't know. It just, it's bad timing to wait until you're in the suite.
The damage is done. And so now, hey, I got something to tell you.
Well, and no wonder she was nervous. I would have been nervous too.
Right, get it out.
And how is he going to react? Like in that moment, he's looking at having this great night with her, not having to say goodbye, staying up all night, making out whatever it is they're going to do in there. And then boom, this like cloud, right? Just explodes in his face.
I'm surprised we didn't hear thunder.
Well, did you see his face? Poor guy. He's like, okay.
Okay.
You know, and he handled it well. He came out of it, you know, decently.
Well, yeah. How else is he going to handle it with all the cameras running?
I believe, though, that Chris handled it the way that Chris would have handled it.
I agree, too.
Right?
I have no question.
Whether or not the cameras were there, that's what he would have done.
However, because of this move, I have to reinstate the Heifer Breakdown because Becca's getting demoted to fence.
Oh, she's not even girl. She's fence.
Because it's to be determined.
See, to me, that was a girl move. Holding that back was a girl move.
I pulled a muscle, not moving her to girl.
All right. Can I have my own Heifer Breakdown and I will put her as a girl? Okay. So she's a girl on my Heifer Breakdown.
You go, girl. You go, girl.
Hey, wait. You're not calling me a girl, are you?
What now?
You're just saying, you go, girl, quote unquote.
You really need to talk to somebody about this.
I want to make sure.
What do you mean you want to make sure?
I want to make sure. Before we go any further.
Wow. So he had this little chit-chat with Fearless Host.
Yes, as they always do.
Come on.
Because it was tough. He had to talk to Chris.
What was it? What was this whole thing about? Oh, well, Becca and I had this discussion in the morning, and I just don't know how to feel about it.
Well, they probably talked very, very openly about what that means.
If I recall accurately, Farmer said that Becca didn't tell him that she was in love with him, but I distinctly remember her doing so.
She said that she was falling in love with him.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Because Chris has said how he feels about taking a test drive before he buys the cow.
Absolutely.
To use a metaphor. He has said that that's important to him, and I get that. That is probably the conversation they had in the morning, is him saying, I respect your choice and I respect what you said, but here's where I am in the process.
Very good, Grasshopper. You're learning.
Well, thank you.
You're almost ready to snatch the pebble.
Okay, so I'm not a complete dolt in your mind.
No, you're an incomplete dolt.
Thank you.
All right.
You suck sometimes. Can I just say that?
Note to Farmer, if you're struggling with deciding between the three, take a page from Fearless Host's book.
Wow, okay.
As he said at the beginning of the season, the rules are out the window, so take them all.
Say, I don't want to eliminate this week until I have more time.
Yeah,
Something.
I don't want to eliminate this week. I don't want to eliminate 2 weeks from now. I want them all.
I want to just end the show right now.
Pack them up, put them in my car, bouncing. So then we get to this bullshit rose ceremony.
Oh, gosh. This was awful. You could cut the tension with a knife.
Oh, forget tension. This was crap. And here's why it's crap. When Chris came out and he said that first word to the women and the fence, in the temple, there was still 20 minutes left to go in the show on the stream.
Oh, I know you were looking at that. And as I was watching it, I gotta say, I hit the little pause button so I could see how much was left in the bar. And I thought, oh, Neil is going to be looking at this going,
Yes.
There is going to be some stuff.
This clock ain't moving fast enough.
I knew there was going to be something.
This should just be a straight, smooth cut with no problem.
No, not so much.
That whole talk with Becca.
Right, he did do
I'm
that
doing the
a lot.
farmer.
I just felt for him in that moment. You could see it was just such a struggle.
No, I couldn't see. I could hear.
Yes, I could see it and hear it. And I could see the desperation on Becca's face when she was trying to convince him.
Oh, Lord.
Right? She's thinking to herself, don't let me go.
I am not suggesting that Becca was insincere.
She seems genuine to me.
Yes, well, they all do.
No,
and that's the problem.
Britt is not genuine.
The ones that are left. I'm not talking about the girls. Okay? The girls are gone.
All the women are genuine. You're right.
I'm not above accusing the producers to making her hold out to the last moment this little factoid about herself.
You think so?
Absolutely.
No. You think they asked her to wait?
Yes, to wait to tell him
Really?
that she's a virgin?
You don't think that was her just being scared?
Let's go back to Jason Mesnick.
All right, let's not, and let's keep going.
Okay, see, there we go. You always bail when you have no defense.
Well, with Jason, I agree with you.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
But with Becca, I'm not so sure.
So the precedent has been set.
No, that was how many? 15 seasons ago.
Oh, no. Wasn't that long. 6.
Okay.
Tops.
Yeah, 6 seasons. Okay.
Do I think that they have the potential to withhold information on purpose for dramatic effect?
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
But with Becca, I'm not so sure.
Let's just say that the smell is there.
Okay.
And you're just holding your nose. He's walking back in to the temple with Becca holding her hand, taking her back to the other two.
Oh my God.
Whitney and Kaitlyn are just freaking out.
Kaitlyn's face, she's like, oh shoot.
What I wrote down was if Becca comes back, Whitney's going home.
Really?
The family, she hadn't been to Arlington.
Well, and his doubts, he said, there's an unknown about Whitney. So, and I hadn't heard him say anything like that until this episode. Because before, he had always been really hot on Whitney. And so all of a sudden, this episode, to hear that, I was like, wow.
That family thing, that was huge.
When they came back, I was like, oh, Lord, what's going to happen?
When he called Whitney's name first, I was pissed off at that point.
Well, I wasn't sure. Is he going to pick Becca or is he going to pick Kaitlyn? I didn't know.
I wasn't happy with this rose ceremony.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
If they had just had the rose ceremony and they just called it out, I would have said, okay.
Yeah.
This is the way it is. This is how he chose. He saw something. He didn't see something. Whatever.
Yeah. But to do all of that.
And to talk to her for however long he talked to her and then bring her back in.
I agree.
Oh, boo.
It was gut-wrenching. And you could tell on Kaitlyn's face that it was like you could see the walls go around. And when he went to hug her, she was just like, go ahead, hug me. I'm just going to look to the side here.
Yeah.
I mean, no feeling, no emotion. She didn't even put her hands up to hug
Bachelorette.
To hug him back. And that's what I think. I think she's going to be chosen as the next Bachelorette.
That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @DidTheLetterU.Watch-It. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.